Welcome and thank you for joining us. In this video, we will explain what tropical data is. Tropical data is a global initiative helping countries to collect high-quality, standardized prevalence data on neglected tropical diseases by supporting health ministries from the start to the end of the survey process, with quality assurance and quality control at every step. Tropical data is a partnership between endemic countries, their partners, the World Health Organization, and a core team made up of London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, the International Trachoma Initiative, RTI International, and Sightsavers. It would not be possible without the commitment of all partners involved. Tropical data offers support through each step of the survey process, but country programs are responsible for delivering the funding in-country implementation. This is a detailed overview of the survey process, including roles and responsibilities at each step. It is divided into three main areas: protocols, planning and training, data collection and management, and finally, data access and sharing. Note that ministries of health are central to each of the processes. A copy of this overview can be found on Tropical Data's online resources page or by clicking on the image on your screen. For trachoma, the WHO recommends that the following prevalence surveys take place: baseline surveys to determine the need for trachoma elimination interventions, impact surveys to determine if interventions have achieved the elimination thresholds or if further interventions are needed, surveillance surveys to show that reductions in prevalence have been sustained, and trachomatose trichiasis only surveys, standardized surveys that are rarely required but are recommended in certain epidemiological contexts. All these survey types are supported by Tropical Data. Although Tropical Data has primarily supported trachoma prevalence surveys, we have been working with partners to do pilot studies and to provide the same level of survey support to other NTDs, for example, lymphatic filariasis and schistosomiasis. Tropical Data builds on this standardized approach and technologies developed within the Global Trachoma Mapping Project. Tropical Data provides epidemiological support for protocol development and sampling, planning and budgeting support if required, provision of materials such as loupes, phones, follicle size guides, and 3D goggles, qualified trainers and bespoke training support, and support with data collection, storage, cleaning, approvals, and analysis. I will go through each of these in a little more detail in the following slides. Please note that different websites are used for planning a survey and for accessing and approving the data. To start with, the Tropical Data website has lots of useful resources to help with planning and carrying out surveys. These can be accessed through our main Tropical Data website by clicking on the Resources button. Resources include an activity planning template, planning checklist, protocol writing guide, budget planning template, training manuals, how to download and access data, and templates for the expanded trichiasis and district reports, as well as our biannual newsletters. Tropical Data ensures that surveys are conducted using WHO-approved methodologies and follow a standardized process. We want countries to have confidence in the methods used and in the data generated, and to have ownership of the process and data. Epidemiological support and scientific oversight are a key feature of the whole process, from protocol development to the provision of results. Our training system is also standardized, with a global network of certified trainers and a training package that helps prepare teams for fieldwork and data collection. As part of our support to countries, if a country does not have certified trainers, we will ensure that training support is provided, allowing for inter-country sharing of experiences and collaboration. In the first 5 years of Tropical Data, we trained over 300 people at our International Training of Trainer workshops, representing over 46 countries, and supported over 120 national training workshops. Tropical Data uses electronic data collection in the field with Android phones and a dedicated app, which reduces the need for paper forms and minimizes errors in data recording. Data are sent to a secure, cloud-based server for cleaning, analysis, review, and approval by the Health Ministry. Data are received and can be reviewed in near real time, enabling rapid feedback to resolve issues in the field quickly, improving data quality and accelerating the provision of results. As with the GTMP, Data are owned by the Health Ministry and accessible only to nominated individuals through a secure web portal. With Health Ministry consent, point prevalence results are automatically shared with the joint WHO-ITI GET 2020 database, so that WHO and International Trachoma Initiative staff can help with applications for donated drugs and the completion of dossiers for validation of eliminating trachoma. District-level prevalence category data are used to update Open Access Global Atlas of Trachoma and the ESPN portal. This video uses data taken from the Trachoma Atlas and shows how things have changed and progressed since 2010. In the 3 years of GTMP, surveys were supported in 841 evaluation units, which are generally equivalent to a district, examining over 2.6 million people across 29 countries. In the first 5 years since beginning in February 2016, Tropical Data supported trachoma surveys in 2,200 evaluation units, examining over 6.8 million people in 46 countries across 5 WHO regions. The results of these surveys translate directly into programmatic decision-making, including confirmation that MDA should be started or continued, that MDA is not needed, that MDA can be stopped, or that trachoma is no longer a public health problem. We are also able to appreciate the impact on global and national NTD programs through the feedback we receive from those we work with. This impact has been achieved through standardized approaches to methodology, training, and data management on a global scale. This has allowed us to scale up at an unprecedented rate and led to high-quality, standardized data that countries and their partners can trust. Here is some feedback on Tropical Data from one of our colleagues, Gilbert Bayenda, from the Ministry of Health in Uganda. Gilbert is also one of our principal recorder trainers and explains a little of the country's journey from paper to electronic survey data collection and how this has helped trachoma elimination efforts for Uganda and neighboring countries.
The Tropical Data System is a standardized method of collecting information, so we are able to share this information because we know that our neighbors Kenya and South Sudan use the same methods to train and also to collect the data, so we are able to exchange information that has meaning, is similar meaning both to the Kenyans and to us, and then we can track progress easily because we know that it is quality data and it is reliable. In Uganda, we have used 3 methods of data collection. We started with the paper-based forms, and these were difficult because you would have so many papers, and then you have to go out very far in hard-to-reach places on motorbikes, and they would get wet, they would get dusty, and these were even difficult to edit. So these evolved into what we called the GTMP, but the initial system that we used that was electronic, and we used this for some time. It was quite a relief because you would take GPS, you would upload the forms at the end of each day, so the data was safer, it was easier to collect and more convenient, and it was standardized. So then we moved into a much better system, which we call the Tropical Data, whereby we can access this information anytime. We can give near real-time feedback to the teams the next day after a survey, and we are able to get this information when it is required by decision makers, whether they are planning people or politicians or just leadership within the NTD. So this has been great progress over the years, and we are looking forward to making it even bigger and better.
For more information, please visit our website, www.tropicaldata.org, or email admin@tropicaldata.org.